Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Friday, March 20th, don't miss Wrestling Night with the Memphis Grizzlies at FedEx Forum. Saturday, March 21st, join us at the Memphis Hustle Game at Landers Center featuring live Memphis Wrestling. Sunday, March 29th, Vince Russo is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Saturday, April 11th, Memphis Wrestling is headed to Little Rock for Arkansas Travelers Wrestling Night at Dickey Stevens Park. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Attention wrestling fans, do you want to watch every WWE premium live event no matter where you are in the world? Well, I've got the ultimate tag team partner for you, Surfshark VPN. With Surfshark, you can unlock content from anywhere on the globe. What this means is no more block streams, no more restrictions, just wall-to-wall action. Imagine catching WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series live no matter what country you're in. And here's the best part. By using my affiliate link, which is tinyurl.com/, that's a backslash, it's VPN STS Talk. You'll also score an exclusive huge savings plus an extra 3 months absolutely free. That's right, 3 bonus months of unlimited access, total online privacy, and the power to stream every WWE pay-per-view like a true champion. And don't get counted out. Hit the link. It is tinyurl.com/, that's a backslash, it's VPN STS Talk. Go to that link and make sure you never miss a single second of the action again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to step in the ring with pain relief. When back pain, neck pain, and stress tries to body slam you into the mat, there's only one tag team partner you can trust.
Vitality Chiropractic in Jonesboro and Newport, Arkansas. The champions of chiropractic care. With a dedicated team of professionals, they're not just adjusting spines, they're adjusting lives. Whether you're battling aches, pains, or just need to feel like a brand new you, Vitality Chiropractic has the moves to get you back on top of your game. Personalized care, effective treatments, and a commitment to your health and vitality.
You don't have to tap out to pain. Pick up the phone. Dial 870-523-2225. That is 870-523-2225, brother. And schedule your appointment today. Vitality Chiropractic serving Jonesboro and Newport. Step in the ring with pain and walk out a champion of health. Vitality Chiropractic, because your spine deserves the main event. 1, 2, 3. Wrestling fans, are you ready? Every Friday night in Osceola, Arkansas, MCW, the legacy continues. Live, hard-hitting, family-friendly wrestling action every Friday night at the MCW Arena, located at 1098 West Kaiser. Doors open at 6:30 and the action starts at 8 p.m. sharp. Don't miss your chance to see the stars of MCW battling out in the ring, rivals, drama, and slam-packed action. Here's what I want you to do. If you have any questions, I want you to search Facebook for Osceola's Mid-Southern Championship Wrestling. All ticket information, how to get your ticket, what time the show starts, everything right there on Facebook. All tickets are on sale right now. Be there! Hey, just a quick reminder, subscribe for $5, $7, or $10 at www.patreon.com/Shooting the Shiznit without a G. That's right, Shooting the Shiznit without a G. This episode is also brought to you by Bear. Eat better, live better. These guys are the best meal prep company in Northeast Arkansas. So get 15% off with our code STSPodClub at bear870.com. That's 15% off. Use our code STSPodClub at bear870.com. Trust Bear for your meal prep needs in Northeast Arkansas. Eat better, live better. Bear. Folks, let's talk about something that can make everything feel a little smoother, a little better, and a whole lot more comfortable. If you're listening to STS Pod, you already know we believe in top-tier performance, and that doesn't stop when the mics go off. That's right. That's why we have been proudly sponsored for 7 years by SpunkLube.com. That's right, SpunkLube.com. Spunk Lube Hybrid is their best selling for a reason. Spunk Lube Hybrid is a unique water-based silicone blend that looks and feels like your body's natural lubrication. Translation, you get that skin-to-skin sensation without the sticky mess or constant reapplication. Whether it's solo time or with a partner, or you're just upgrading your overall experience, Spunk Lube Hybrid has you covered. It's non-staining, made for sensitive skin, and cleans up easily because nobody wants extra work afterwards. Got toys, condoms, no problem. Spunk Lube Hybrid is fully compatible with sex toys, condoms, and more. And here's the good stuff. It's made in the USA, backed by 15 years of trust, and it ships discreetly as your business stays. Well, it stays your business. That's right. Right now, STS Pod listeners can get 10% off when you use the promo code STS Pod at checkout. That's STS Pod, STSPOD, for 10% off Spunk Lube Hybrid, the best selling for a reason. Feel better, move better, enjoy more, because friction, well, it's for bad podcasts, not for real life. We can all help prevent suicide. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline provides 24/7 free and confidential support for people in distress, and also prevention and crisis resources for you and your loved ones. Call 1-800-273-8255.
What happens when someone sends you a box of cassettes from the 1990s? You put them on as a podcast. Sit back and take a trip to the past for Cassette Wrestling News. Stone Cold Steve Austin called this the first ever podcast. These cassettes were mailed every issue to subscribers during the heyday of wrestling fanzines. Jeff Osborne and John Seaton sit down and put out an episode of zany, fun, and sometimes serious stuff. Get ready to dive 30 plus years into the past.
Once again, CWN listeners, this is Jeff Osborne along the audio ringside this issue without John Seaton. Welcome to issue number 56 of Cassette Wrestling News. A lot of big things going on in the world of professional wrestling, and we're going to take a look at them in the next hour. But first, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
Reviews are in, and all the critics say this record should be smashed. Waste of Space Records presents Reverend Mark and the Kayfabe Congregation. Rolling Stone magazine says, don't give this album to someone you love. Godfather of Soul James Brown says, Manager Jim Cornette says, this record wasn't released, it escaped. Here's such timeless classics as We Didn't Start the Fire, It Was Jim Herd.
Terry Gordy, Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard's out of their Steamboat the Funker too. If you have town, he'll fire you. Jim Cornette and Stan Lane, they put Muda on a plane. Dr. Death and Chris Cruz, at least we still have pianos. It was Jim Herd, Jim Herd.
And Steroids to Heaven.
There's a Vince who likes guys with very big muscles, and he's giving them steroids to heaven. Oh, he's sure it will turn a quick buck or two, so he's giving them steroids to heaven. And he's giving them steroids to heaven. They inject and ingest for large arms and large chest, and they do this all just to please. Vince will roll in the dough, Pat and Renee also, but I hear they all now have a disease.
Plus 8 or 9 other forgettable tunes. Get your copy now. Send $9.99, $99.95 today, and as a bonus, get Reverend Mark's tribute to the New Jersey Devil. Devil with a blue dress on. Operators are standing by.
Makes me wonder.
The very warped commentary from Reverend Mark. We ought to be hearing from Reverend Mark on the next issue of CWN. But right now, you heard in his Steroids to Heaven song, he mentioned Rene Goulet, Pat Patterson, as well as Vince McMahon. There's a rumor floating around the business that these men have tested HIV positive. As I said, it's only a rumor. It cannot be even considered 100% true, or even, as Brian Trammell would say, 1% true. But there is nonetheless a rumor of those three men. Also, the model Rick Martel also came up in that list of 4 names. We'll have to wait to see exactly what develops in that situation. While we're on the subject, or rather the stale subject of steroids, I know it's getting a little old, but you always learn something new. It was announced, I believe, Monday, August the 5th on the Wrestling Hotline, that Dennis Brent, the editor, I believe, of WCW's Wrestling Wrap-Up, the WCW magazine, that WCW, I'm getting tired of all these initials, will start steroid testing. And I've talked to a couple of people about this, and all just seems to be a big joke. One person said it would take away their 2 top draws or their 2 non-draws. You know, what can be said about steroids? McMahon has pulled this big crock, and which, by the way, you can hear the entire press conference on John Arezzi's Pro Wrestling Spotlight Monthly 90-minute tape, which he will be plugging in a little bit. But this steroid thing has just gone on too far, and I've talked to Joe Messinio from Australia, which you also will be hearing on this tape, and we both agree that it's going to take somebody to drop dead in the ring before somebody does anything about steroid abuse in professional wrestling. If they do this honestly, great. If they don't, I mean, it's just the same old wrestling thing over and over again. Before I start talking about Joel Goodhart's August the 3rd card, I want to talk about two people that were on that card. Eddie Gilbert and Cactus Jack both received WCW tryouts, and it has already been rumored that Cactus Jack did have an argument with Jim Ross. And as you know, Eddie Gilbert is not the biggest fan of Jim Ross. I don't know if this had an effect on Cactus Jack or Cactus's decision or anything, but nonetheless, that is a rumor also that Cactus and Ross had been verbally fighting. Also, Eddie Gilbert had the chance to return to WCW as a jobber, as a babyface jobber. To me, I'll give my honest opinion, it's a joke. Eddie Gilbert has established himself as a killer heel. So what if he's not big? So what if he's not 6'3" or whatever? The guy can play the ultimate heel. He can also carry himself as a face. And when WCW wants to push this garbage, like your Lugers, your Sting, I see where they're wanting to make money, but it's not wrestling. It's nothing. And when a piece of talent like Eddie Gilbert comes through, and they just want to use him, it's just a big joke. And I hope if Cactus does stay, which I've heard that he is going to stay in WCW, that they use him and that he lets them use him for the talent that he is and not for what they want him to be. I wish both of these men luck. Eddie Gilbert will be wrestling on an independent card down in Mississippi for Brian Trammell. We wish Eddie the best of luck in that. But right now I want to talk about the match that both of these men had in Philadelphia, and you will not believe what went on. You know, 2 issues ago, John Seaton came out here on this very program and said the final match is going to be a loser gets his head cut off match. Each time Eddie Gilbert and Cactus Jack head to the ring, they better themselves with this match. I could not believe what people told me about this match. I got 7-star reports. I got match of the year. I want to thank right now Michael Joy for phoning in a report the day after. And he said the match was just unbelievable, and he gives the very first follow of the match of the year. As I said, John Seaton came out, and I won't use his exact words, but he said both men are basically going to kill each other one of these days. And Joel Goodhart, Joel agrees with John Seaton that both of these men may kill each other. And Joel told me personally that he actually thought that one of these men were going to commit suicide during the match. He actually had to leave. He was actually thinking about leaving the arena because this match was so brutal. It went on. A trash can came into the ring. There was a bottle there. It was not your breakaway bottle. This was a legit wine cooler bottle. I know a lot of people are going to disagree. And Eddie Gilbert picked the bottle up. And for the reports I have, is that Eddie was not too sure about doing this. And he says it's the hardest thing he's ever had to do in a wrestling match. But he had the bottle in his hand, and the place went nuts. Gave one of the biggest pops this year from what I understand. Eddie smashed the bottle on Cactus Jack's face. Cactus was picking glass out of his chin, out of his nose, out of his face, and everywhere else. And the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission appointed Dr. Joan Gable to the event, and she retired after seeing just one match between Eddie Gilbert and Cactus Jack. Joe Goodhart also informed me that the dressing room looked like hell. Also, another thing happened that I don't know if Joe wants me to tell everybody about this, but I'm going to do it anyway. The damages for this event are an excess of $2,000. 2 6-foot tables were destroyed, wireless microphone, and get this, folks, 24 blood-stained chairs at a value of $960 to get them clean and repaired. And, 896 people paid for this event, which is a little over what Joel was shooting for. And he didn't have that bad of a gate for an independent show. It was $18,587. And the press for this event, the press people there were 21 press people. Joe only allows five press people at ringside. Now, a lot of controversy was going on. The Japanese photographers didn't want to leave. Napolitano didn't want to leave. And some of the reports that I got was that Wade Keller was causing a little bit of a ruckus there in Philadelphia. I don't have the details on this, but from what I understand, Wade's not on the hot list up there in Philadelphia, if you want to know. If I'm sketchy on the details, but that's the report I'm getting. But Joe only allows 5 people on the floor, as I said, at ringside, because the ringside people gripe about people getting in their way, which is understandable. But nobody wanted to leave. They wanted to get pictures of this Cactus Jack and Eddie Gilbert match, which I cannot blame them. And anyway, there's a lot of controversy in this, and who knows? Maybe we should put them press people in a battle royal. Before I go on, I want to give Mike Lano a plug here. In the October issue of Wrestling World magazine, he does an article on Joe Goodhart, and I think everyone should check that out. Now let's get back to this show. Buddy Landell and Austin Idol, from the reports I received, put on one hell of a brawl. Many people, including Michael Joy, who was there, said this is going to be one of those mic matches where the wrestlers just go up to the mic and going to hear good one-liners. But they started beating the hell out of each other all the way through the building. And Buddy Landell left the arena with one huge black mark on his back or somewhere on his body. I'm so excited to get this report that I kind of forgot to do little things out here. And Eddie Gilbert did not get out of bed, from the reports I received, till 2 or 3 days after this event. And of course, knowing Cactus Jack, he left Philadelphia and went straight to Atlanta for a TV taping. Is that man dedicated or what? Personally, dedication and crazy both come to mind. But that's basically how it went. And get this, folks, for the next big supercard there in Philadelphia, Joe Goodhart is having a Last Blood Battle Royal, the first in history. And like I said, the Red Cross better be standing by with buckets, because there's going to be a lot of blood flowing all over that building. The last person to not bleed is the winner of the Battle Royal. Now I want to talk about the thing with Ric Flair. I've been getting a lot of reports that Titan Television, which will air the 10th, is going to acknowledge Ric Flair as a world's champion. This comes to a very, very big shock to me. I was one of the very first people to receive this information. What can you say? McMahon wants him bad. WCW did have a conference with Ric Flair, I believe, August the 1st or the last day of July, in which Ric Flair declined the job for head booker. He said he will not come back. He will not drop the lawsuit until Jim Herd and Dusty Rhodes have left WCW. What's in it for Ric Flair? Joe Goodhart offered Ric Flair $5,000 plus a luncheon the following day of the event if he would take on Terry Funk. This is still up in the air. It is not definite, but I can assure you of one thing. If Terry Funk is going to be in Philadelphia, so am I. I'm not going to miss one of Joe Goodhart's shows, one of the big shows this year. I suggest everyone get on the phone and call Joe right now, or give me a call. I'll help reserve a ticket. If we do get Flair and Funk, some person is coming to manage Terry Funk in this match. I'm not going to say who it is. It's off the record right now, but it's very big news. If I was Ric Flair, Ric Flair, McMahon is not going to say, hey, you either sign right now or don't sign at all. He may be doing this. You never know. But the reports I get is that McMahon is offering him $20,000 a week, somewhere in the neighborhood of $18,000 or $20,000. Ric Flair can go up to Philadelphia and satisfy some of his biggest fans, and then leave for Titan. Although I do not want to see him leave for Titan. I believe I stated last issue that he had dinner with Vince McMahon. So many things are going on with Ric Flair. If they get rid of Dusty Rhodes, get rid of Jim Herd, he will come back to the NWA. And to me, he would get the world title back, winning it for the 8th time, breaking Harley Race's record. But we got to get rid of Herd and Dusty, which I have no objection at all. I also got a report. Get this, folks. You'd be surprised at how many endings to letters I get that bring back Bill Watts. I got a report the other day saying that Bill Watts may very well be headed into WCW as the head booker with Eddie Gilbert as his assistant. But the fallout with WCW and Eddie Gilbert, I have no idea what the heck is going on. But if you want to bet money on it, if Eddie Gilbert and Bill Watts got in there, they could do nothing but good for WCW and possibly show a profit. I know it'd be hard, but anything is better than this cartoon circus crap we're seeing right now. I don't know if Bill Watts does go there, we're going to see some great stuff. But a lot of sources tell me Watts is not even remotely interested in getting back into professional wrestling because he doesn't care anymore. Bill Watts was one of the few men that if you did something wrong, he would make sure you knew about it and you corrected it and you done it right the next time. These days, you've got guys like Jim Herd, and they don't give a shit about professional wrestling. They're just trying to keep their jobs, trying to make a buck. But Bill Watts, if you did something wrong, he's going to get in your face and yell at you, and you're going to do it right next time, and that's what this business is lacking right now. And it's hard to believe that just a few guys that really give a damn about what they're doing, WCW wants to take advantage of them. Eddie Gilbert, Cactus Jack, who knows? The guys who really care and are not stuck on themselves, they're getting screwed around, and it's a shame. I want to get off this subject right now because I have on the line John Arezzi, host of the Pro Wrestling Spotlight there in Babylon, New York, with a special offer on some of his audio cassettes. I highly suggest that you try this one out this month because it does have segments and pieces with Vince McMahon and the steroid press conference. And McMahon is just caught up in a pool of lies. And if I had a McMahon dartboard, I'd have darts out right now. Anyway, here is John.
Thanks a lot for letting me plug the latest edition of Pro Wrestling Spotlight Monthly for August 1991. You said you got a lot of response from your listeners regarding the Vince McMahon press conference from the Plaza Hotel. Now, that entire press conference will be on the latest edition of Pro Wrestling Spotlight Monthly audio cassette, and that will be available upcoming August 15th, and I guess your listeners will be receiving this a little after that, so it is available. I'll make a special offer to Cassette Wrestling News listeners for the August issue of Pro Wrestling Spotlight Monthly. It'll be $5, and you could make a check or money order payable to Pro Wrestling Spotlight Productions, 136 North Carl Avenue, suite number 125, Babylon, New York, 11702. Also on that August issue will be superstar Billy Graham, as well as an interview with Buddy Rogers, Paulie Dangerously, and some other segments. It's a very enjoyable tape. And if you're interested in all three copies of Pro Wrestling Spotlight Monthly, the June, July, and August issues for Cassette Wrestling News people, it's just $15 for all three 90-minute tapes. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for allowing me to plug away here on Cassette Wrestling News. And remember, for the latest wrestling information, there's one number to dial, 900-246-7526, $2 the first minute, $1 each additional. Continued success with Cassette Wrestling News.
Thank you very, very much, John Arezzi, and I'm going to be checking out one of those tapes for myself, and I suggest everyone out there do the same. Some very, very interesting stuff. You know, if Joel Goodhart is not involved in some controversy, John Arezzi is, and it's vice versa, and these two men ought to become a tag team or something. And, you know, I was just thinking the other day, it's hard to believe that John Arezzi, a man who puts his heart into making professional wrestling better, once had to do a job for everyone's favorite fat-ass Dusty Rhodes. This, how humiliating. I mean, I'm telling you, Dusty, I'm not saying anymore. I want to go right now to one of the many growing number of people subscribing to Cassette Wrestling News. Man in Australia is being heard on every issue of CWN. I'm talking about Joe Messinio.
Joe from Australia with his bit for issue number 50, whatever. I'll begin this bit with some poetry from Macbeth. Out, Moondog Spot. You're supposed to be a retired dog, but you're not. Actually, now we move on to the Boo of the Week. And this week it'll go to World Championship Wankers for not using Eddie Gilbert correctly. A jobber, you must be fucking joking. My heroes have always been cowboys. Let's hope WCW do bring in the cowboy, Bill Watts. Wouldn't it have been fantastic to see Watts and Gilbert, the booking team? But, well, to John Seaton, stop your fucking swearing. You fucking cuss too much. But you know what? Jeff may have a heart attack one day saying, John, trying to calm him down. Now, I have a rap from the rap master with a silent C, Joe MC. Let's go. Yo, baby, yo. Dusty Rhodes has got to go. We all know he's just a big schmo. I hope he eats 100 donuts and fucking explodes. Yo, baby, yo. Now, WCW's a botch, so get rid of the splotch. His son's not that bad, but his dad's a cad. Yo, baby, yo. Now, Lex the Flex just flexes his pecs. Now, he's the fucking champ, so it's a certain hex. Yo, baby, yo. Now, my rhyme is just a waste of time, but wrestling's my game, so I'll get off this line. Yo, baby, yo. Now, that's all I got to say. Now, I'm off. Bye. May you all. And remember, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Thank you, I think, Joe Messinio from Australia. We're still waiting on this fictitious piece he's got going called the Jim Cornette Fitness Center. We're waiting on that. I want to see how that turns out. But I want to thank, again, Joe Messinio, one of the very, very big wrestling junkies. And the night that he phoned in this conversation, or this piece for Cassette Wrestling News, we talked for over an hour, in which I believe the cost for a minute from Australia to the United States is $1.40. Tell me Joe Messinio is not a wrestling junkie. Jeez. Seems to me it's rumored that Bret the Hitman Hart has won, or will win, the Intercontinental Heavyweight title from Mr. Perfect. I'm anxiously awaiting to see this match. Anytime you put two wrestlers of this caliber together, you're going to get one hell of a match. And I've also heard that Virgil has won the $1 million belt. So 2 title changes, and get ready for a third at SummerSlam. I feel the Road Warriors are going to beat the Nasty Boys. Should be a pretty decent match. I have to wait and see, though. People are asking me about Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, whatever the hell you want to call that non-wrestling man. Anyway, what I believe is going to happen is that I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Many things could happen in this match that he's going to ref at SummerSlam. He has been promised the main event against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. So evidently there is going to be a turn somewhere down the line. May not happen at SummerSlam. However, it may happen at SummerSlam. We're talking about turning Sergeant Slaughter back to a babyface. And I'm hoping to see this. Well, not really. But anyway, we got to see what happens. Right now, before we turn over to the second side of CWN with Dr. Mike Lano, I want to tell everyone on how to subscribe to Cassette Wrestling News, or how to renew your subscription. 6 issues, that's 6 hours of wrestling. Cassette Wrestling News, 6 issues. I just said that. What am I doing? 6 issues, $16. Like I said, and when I go to Philadelphia, I plan on getting 3 or 4, maybe more interviews. Who knows? But you can send those subscriptions. Also, a sample issue of CWN can be yours for just $3. All replies should be sent to Jeff Osborne, care of Cassette Wrestling News, 3420 New Harmony Road. That's NEWHARMONY Road, Evansville, Indiana, 47720. Or please, if you're looking for, if you want to trade any type of video material, give me a call at 812-425-5460. I'll tell everybody what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Memphis before 1985. I do have some mid-'70s or early '70s Memphis, but what I'm really looking for is, before 1985. Also, I'm looking for some Georgia stuff, anything before, again, 1984, 1985. I have hopefully a best of 1981 Georgia tape coming on the way from Tony Richards. Tony, if you're out there, when the hell are you going to send in your commentary? Tony is a a radio personality down in Kentucky, and we hope to get Tony on the show doing little segments. He has already done 2 segments, but the guy just won't send them in. What the hell is wrong with him? I'm also looking for the old Southwest Championship Wrestling, and any Southwest with Jerry Lawler on it I'm looking for. I've always been a Jerry Lawler video collecting buff. I've got most of his matches and stuff, and also some Japan stuff with Lawler. I don't have any Japan Lawler stuff. If you got any of this stuff, or you know someone who has this, let me know, and I'll give you a free issue of Cassette Wrestling News, because I really want this stuff for my collection. And we speak of videos. Last issue, as you know, John Seaton beat the hell out of me, which some of it was legit. We did take each other on in a brawl, which actually started at my house, went down the road into some guy's pool, came back to my house, went into some bushes down in the garden. You got to see this. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to offer an unedited version for $13.50 and the edited version for $12.50. I'm not even going to say what's on the unedited version, because I'm not... Never mind. And I've also put together all my catalog of all my past cassettes of Cassette Wrestling News. Also, some of the stuff I want to trade. So if you want that, send me 2 29-cent stamps, and I'll be sure and send this catalog along to you. But I want to remind everyone again, Video Cassette Wrestling News is available. Also contains a bootleg match on there, which I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Also some other stuff, some bloopers that have taken place on Memphis television, in which Tracy Smothers was taking on the Black Ninja. Someone had split the back of the Black Ninja's pants, and his butt was hanging out. And thanks to the miracle of live television, thousands of people saw this event, and I'm going to put some of that on Video Cassette Wrestling News. Again, the unedited $13.50 or the edited down version for $12.50. Again, the address: Jeff Osborne, CWN, 3420 New Harmony Road, Evansville, Indiana, 47720. The phone number, 812... What? 425-5460. Now comes a magical time when we ask you to turn the tape over to the other side. Hopefully I will be hearing from Brian Trammell on his upcoming independent card. Some pretty big news happening there. Possible TV down in Mississippi. Also, on the other side, we'll have Dr. Mike Lano. So let's go ahead and turn this tape over to the other side.
Hi, this is Kerry Von Erck, Monday Warrior, listening to Cassette Wrestling News right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Where the hell am I? Yeah. You go with cities on there.
Hit me with your first shot. Each month, a guest brings the very first album they ever bought, the one that started it all. Brian Trammell, the longtime producer of The Record Store, listens to it. Then they break it down track by track. From guilty pleasures to timeless classics, it's all about nostalgia, stories, and how that first shot of music shaped who they are today. Tune in for laughs, memories, and fresh takes on the albums that kicked off a lifelong love of music. The first album that hit you, track by track. Where your first record takes the stage. Rewinding to the music that started it all. Hit me with your first shot.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at uswapodcast.com.
Hey, I want to talk about one of our sponsors, Bear. B-A-R-E, period. That's right. Their tagline is Eat Better, Live Better. And I'm speaking from experience here. That's right. The better things you put in your body, the better you feel. These guys are the best meal prep company in Northeast Arkansas because, well, they prep all my meals and they don't put any of those artificial flavorings or seasonings in their food. It's just the bare ingredients. You see what I did there? Here's how it works. You choose the meals you want in your desired pickup location from their easy-to-use website. Your meals are ready Monday morning and available for pickup based on the hours of the location. They have 7 locations right here in Jonesboro, 2 in Paragould and 1 in Brooklyn. Go to bear870.com and place your order today. So here's what I want you to do. Get 15% off with our code STSPodClub at bear870.com. That's 15% off and use our code STSPodClub. Trust Bear for your meal prep needs in Northeast Arkansas. Eat better, live better. Bear. Are you enjoying the episode? Well, Cash App us. That's right, $BTSTS. You don't have Cash App? Download it and get $5. That's right, $5. That's $BTSTS. $BTSTS. All right, folks, let's talk about something that can make everything feel a little smoother, a little better, and a whole lot more comfortable. If you're listening to STS Pod, you already know we believe in top-tier performance, and that doesn't stop when the mics go off. That's right. That's why we have been proudly sponsored for 7 years by SpunkLube.com. That's right, SpunkLube.com. Spunk Lube Hybrid is their best-selling for a reason. Spunk Lube Hybrid is a unique water-based silicone blend that looks and feels like your body's natural lubrication. Translation, you get that skin-to-skin sensation without the sticky mess or constant reapplication. Whether it's solo time or with a partner, or you're just upgrading your overall experience, Spunk Lube Hybrid has you covered. It's non-staining, made for sensitive skin, and cleans up easily because nobody wants extra work afterwards. Got toys, condoms, no problem. Spunk Lube Hybrid is fully compatible with sex toys, condoms, and more. And here's the good stuff. It's made in the USA, backed by 15 years of trust, and it ships discreetly as your business stays. Well, it stays your business. That's right. Right now, STS Pod listeners can get 10% off when you use the promo code STS Pod at checkout. That's STS Pod. STSPOD for 10% off Spunk Lube Hybrid, the best selling for a reason. Feel better, move better, enjoy more, because friction, well, it's for bad podcasts, not for real life. Arkansas, lock in. Natural State Wrestling is on tour. 2 cities, 2 massive benefits, super shows, 1 state about to feel the power. That's right, Saturday, March 7th, NSR storms into Johnsonian at the Johnsonian Community Building, fighting for a cause as we throw down for Mission Machine, supporting our neighbors and changing lives. New rivals, new talent, and a massive 5-on-5 elimination war for the control of Natural State Wrestling. Alliances shatter, power shifts. Then, 2 weeks later, March the 21st, we roll into North Little Rock at the William F. Lehman Public Library. And nah, it ain't gonna be quiet, folks. This is full-blown building, shaking, wrestling. Every donation goes right back into the community, and every match leaves a mark. This isn't just wrestling. This is Natural State Wrestling. Loud, unpredictable, and built for Arkansas. NSR on tour. March matches kick off now. Be there. Contact Elijah Dobbs at 501-380-5734 for sponsorship tiers, or email them at naturalstatewrestling@gmail.com. That's RASSLIN.
Halfway through Cassette Wrestling News issue number 56. I'm going to go right now to one of our new correspondents. A lot of people were saying, Jeff, why don't you have Japan news? We've got the Japan news now, and here he is, Dr. Kayfabe himself, Mike Lano.
Ohio gozaimasu, wrestling fans. Here is your Japanese wrestling report for Cassette Wrestling News. As you hear in the background, we've got the new Japan wrestling theme. It's about time all you guys got acquainted with all the various themes. It's very important. That's New Japan. Right now, the hottest news is FMW's Atsushi Onita is planning a big show at the start of their tag team tournament for the FMW, Frontier Martial Wrestling, September 7th at Calgary Saddle Dome. That's September 7th in the huge Saddle Dome. We're not quite sure who they're going to be using as Canadian wrestlers or even why they're going into a relatively dead territory like Calgary. But they are, and the fact that they're bringing in all of their workers, including some of the guys that I had booked for them, and that's the Tasmaniacs and some of the Savoldi guys. We'll just have to wait and see how that works. The conclusion of that tag tournament will be back at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo in November. Also, Medusa Michelli, we just spoke with her. She just left. She debuted back for the JWP promotion, different than the All Japan Women she worked for before, on the 8th of this month, of August. And she'll be working in the group that uses Cutie Suzuki and Miss A, the ones that work the show in Phoenix for WCW. Now, she had worked previously for the last 19 months, or up to December of last year, for All Japan Women, but now Medusa calls the shots, and she's going to be getting $2,000 a week, plus all kinds of goodies and expenses. She recently signed a deal with the biggest company, PR company in Japan, Nido, for a reported $100,000 a year minimum. Also coming up, Pink Cadillac and Reggie Bennett will be back as a tag team for the same group, JWP, which is normally not known for any hardcore wrestling. They're getting over big, especially, of course, Bennett, who's doing all these wine commercials, Coke ads, similar to the movie stars there, that we don't get to see doing ads here. Paul Newman, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Sheen, Kim Basinger all do TV ads, and so did Reggie Bennett and Pink Cadillac from Florida, known for that infamous quote on that May 18th show that all of us saw down in Tampa, St. Petersburg. Debbie Malenko, real name Debbie Killian, also known in Florida as Debbie Drake, will be coming back to the United States first week of September, going back to Land O'Lakes, Florida, to have that torn-off pinky of hers examined. That's really bothering her now. That doesn't improve. She may not go back for another 6 months in Japan, but she's just finishing up a 6-month stint that began May 17th at the Norio Tateno retirement party and big show at Corrigan Hall. If Eddie Gilbert and Bill Watts come in, as we're hoping for WCW, I wouldn't expect any miracles to occur, but look for them not to lose their connections with New Japan and also gain, hopefully in accordance with this writer, some ties with FMW and the Universal promotion, which basically sends wrestlers from Mexico, the best, to the shows over in Tokyo. That's it, wrestling fans. Sayonara from the land of the rising sun. Combate Kurosai. And that's all from Dr. Kayfabe, Dr. Mike Lano, dentist to all the wrestling stars. Later.
It would help if I turned the mic on, but thank you very much, Dr. Mike Lano. And for those of you who don't know what the hell he's talking about, I was like this at one time until I got a hold of some Japan tapes. If you've never seen the style of New Japan Pro Wrestling, you are missing something spectacular, as well as Lucha Libre. It's quite different than the American styles. These guys basically try to kill each other. Check out some Japan tapes. I can't stress this enough. If you're really a wrestling fan, you'll know all your wrestling groups, your New Japans, your WWCs, WCW, WWF, all these Ws. You know how it is. Check out some Japan stuff. You won't be disappointed. As I mentioned last issue, there is a very, very big, thick, and very informative bulletin that brought back a lot of memories to myself. It's called Wrestling Down Under. It's available from Australia, and we're going to go back to Joe Messinio right now for a plug for this newsletter. And everyone listening to this, come on, these guys need our help. They're just starting out. All it is just $2, and you're going to be getting this from overseas, and it brings back, like I said, a lot of memories. You won't be disappointed with this bulletin, and here is Joe Messinio.
Wrestling Down Under is available from P.O. Box 563, Apple Cross, WA 6153, Australia. For the latest in wrestling... Can I do that one again, Jeff? Wrestling Down Under from P.O. Box 563, Applecross, WA 6153. Latest news and results from all over the world. Gossip about your favourite stars and all the rest of the other shit about wrestling. And if you want to know all about it, you want to see me, Joe the Legend, subscribe to it. Only $2. Fair income, $2. Bye.
Steve Dahl, I listen to Cassette Wrestling News.
Thank you very much, Steve Dahl, and of course, Joe Messinio. Could that guy sell used cars or what? Right now, we want to go to Brian Trammell. For those of you who are wondering about his bulletin, Wrestling Riot, he's giving out a lot of information there, as well as where the heck Eddie Gilbert may be in the very near future. I want to go to this right now. Here's the kayfabe fat man himself, the BT Express, Brian Trammell.
Hello, this is BT for BT Sleeves. A special edition here coming from Jonesboro, Arkansas, airing all the way straight to Evansville, Indiana via the telephone. Yeah. BT Sleeves a little bit different here, a special edition here on this issue of Cassette Wrestling News. What I'm going to do is I've got a very important announcement to make. No BS this time, no bullshit, as John Seaton would say. TU Wrestling Riot, and I was doing a weekly sheet called Memphis Weekly for about 3 weeks. Ooh, that was a long time, wasn't it? Is dead. Both of them are dead. That's right, you heard it right. TU Wrestling Riot has seen its last days. Sort of sad in a way, happy in another. I will be probably sending out a form letter to all subscribers, and we'll be trying to make refunds starting the first of the year. If you're impatient and want your refund now, the best thing for you to do is just wait. No. Give me a call if you've got my phone number, or you can write me at P.O. Box 3494, State University 72467. Also plan to do a best of tape update and Wrestling Riot. It'll be 27 issues. I'll be doing stuff. I'll be doing a whole book planned for next summer, so you can wait on that. The best thing going on right now in BT's life is I like to announce a new promotion in the Mississippi area. And the promoters are me, Brian Trammell, and J.D. McKay, formerly of Ringside Riot Fanzine, Underground Kayfabe Sheet Editors, turned promoters. We have killed our sheets to turn promoters, and we have opened up Ringside Riot Promotions. Our first cards will be August the 23rd and 24th, and we'll feature at the main event Bullet Bob Armstrong and Scott Armstrong against Eddie and Doug Gilbert. Also, there will be possibility of a TV show airing in the Mississippi area, and we're talking to Eddie Gilbert also maybe about booking the group. I will try to give you an update of all I can about this new exciting promotion. There's even talk of promoting in Evansville, Indiana with the help of your one and only Jeff Osborne of CWN. Well, this is BT signing off now.
All right, Brian Trammell there, former kayfabe sheet writer, turned his back on us. Can you believe it? He's a promoter now. Yeah, right. Okay, want to give Evan Ginsberg another plug here. Evan Ginsberg publishes the Nostalgia Bulletin. If you're into a lot of old stuff, and I tell you, each issue is getting better, and I'm not just saying this, has columns with Mike Lano, Gary Fishman, and tons of other things. And if you like looking at the old cards, the days of yesteryear, you can do that in Wrestling Then and Now. And it is available from Evan Ginsberg, and that's Post Office Box 471, Oakland Garden Station, Flushing, New York, 11364. And he's given a free issue with a self-addressed stamped envelope until Labor Day. So you got to take Evan up on this opportunity before it runs out. I'm receiving a few reports that Bobby Eaton is unhappy with his role that he is playing in WCW. And from one report said we got really PO'd that Steve Austin is starting up a program with Johnny B. Bad. I think Bobby had his heart set on getting the title back, but we'll have to wait and see what the situation is. In my opinion, Bobby Eaton will win the United States heavyweight title in an upcoming tournament which should take place August 25th at the last Great American Bash, as we said, last issue taking place in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni. Also some names to come out as favorites for this: Barry Windham and, of course, Arn Anderson, the television champion. Just exactly who is going to win it? I'm going to go with Bobby Eaton or Barry Windham. Barry, of course, being the longtime friend of Booker Dusty Rhodes. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Also have received report. Joel Goodhart was extremely perturbed at Eddie Gilbert for bringing in the glass bottle. Joel said it took about 25 minutes to clean the glass fragments out of the ring apron. And some of the guys were a little bit worried that they were going to be slammed on these little pieces of glass and get cut open even more, which, you know, it's hell, probably some of the fans will even get busted open in this next card he's going to have. It's Autumn Armageddon, and it looks like the Flair and Funk thing may not happen. It is still up in the air. Flair doesn't know what he wants. Goodhart knows what he wants. I know what I want. I know what everyone else wants. We want Flair and we want Funk in the ring. But the chances of that happening are getting slimmer and slimmer by the day. And with McMahon mentioning Ric Flair on television, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And it looks like Flair is going to Titanland eventually. It's just going to happen. So if anyone out there has any suggestions as to who could take on Terry Funk at Autumn Armageddon, please let me know or let Joe know or somebody know, because if Flair can't do it, we need somebody that's going to have a good match with Terry Funk. And I came up with David Schultz, as most of you, as probably everyone knows. John Stossel on the 2020 segment, one of the most historic segments in possibly TV history, as John Stossel came out and said, wrestling's fake, I think this is fake. David Schultz done what I would have done and what any hardcore fan would have done. He slapped the hell out of John Stossel twice, busting or causing permanent ear damage. And I think David Schultz would give the hype and the media attention that Joe Goodhart needs, or hell, it's going to sell out anyway, so who knows? That's my suggestion. Let me know your suggestions. Who could take on Terry Funk in Philadelphia at Autumn Armageddon? I want to give a plug for our contest we've got going here, and let me tell you, the prize to this contest is a videotape I've came up with, super angles. I've compiled tons and tons of hot angles. Some of the old Piper's Pits, the old Piper Pit with Eddie Gilbert, and Eddie looks like he's about 12 years old in this. You got to see it. Also, the Piper's Pit with Jimmy Snuka, where he crushes the coconut over his head. The Piper Pit with Rocky Johnson, as Piper calls him a son of a bitch over the house mic and attacks him. A lot of good Piper stuff, a lot of old Memphis stuff, and I'm going to give this prize up for the person who will come up with the 10 best ways to better a wrestling promotion or to better wrestling. I have received just 3 entries, and that is it. The winner will receive the Super Angles videotape. So please, I cannot urge this enough. Get those entries in, let's just say, by the middle of September, and we'll probably announce the winner on issue number 58. Not next issue, but the issue after. And we want to get rid of this videotape, and some lucky person is going to win that. And I hope it's one of you listening to this, and well, it has to be. Even if you don't subscribe to Cassette Wrestling News, your opinion still does count. So please get those entries in. The 10 best ways to better a wrestling promotion. What could be done to make the wrestling the way it used to be, the sellout crowds? Let us know, and you may win that videotape. You know, I was one of the first people to receive reports. I got this report before last issue went out, that the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig, had handed in his resignation. This game is a big, big shock to me, but he has made his millions, I guess. And the latest news is that by the time you get this, a few weeks ago, the Ultimate Warrior did not show up for a television taping, and it was still rumored that he did hand in his resignation, and he didn't want to go through the rat race anymore. So I don't know what to make of this situation. I don't know how it's going to affect SummerSlam or whatever, maybe possibly a clean pin on the Warrior if it's true. However, I do see another Hogan Warrior match in the works, and I'm anxiously awaiting for Randy Savage to get back into the ring in the WWF. Talked to one USWA wrestler about the Ultimate Warrior, and he said that he may just be going back home just to die, which caught me as a shock. But, you know, with all this HIV-positive stuff going on up there in WWF land or Titan land, or as Vince De Palma once called it, the World Entertainment Federation, you never know what is going to happen up there. And you know, the Globe story thing, however, some people say it's a crock, but I've talked to, I know one person that's talked to a couple WWF guys, and they say, you know, it's been a hush-hush thing for quite a few years, and they agree that it's true. And I've talked to a couple other guys within the industry that says a lot of that stuff is true, but some of it isn't, so you never know what is going on. But you know, the Ultimate Warrior's made his money, and that's the bottom line. That's all I'm going to say about it. Also, I was hearing rumors that Nature Boy Buddy Landel had lost his job with the Global Wrestling Federation. it's kind of sketchy, but now the sources, the same source, or rather both same sources, say that he has regained his job with Joe Pedicino's new group, which, by the way, I was watching a match just a few moments ago between Adrian Street and some guy billed from Jamaica. This match made no sense at all to me. I did not like it. Adrian Street, 5'7", 5'6", something like that, and this guy was like 6'10". Please, come on. Total mismatch, and it made wrestling look stupid, which seems to be the in thing nowadays. The only promotion that I don't see making wrestling look stupid is the Memphis promotion. Although a lot of weird things going on here too with the Awesome Kong Jerry Lawler thing, which is getting some good heat. I gotta admit, I sort of like Reggie B. Fine's character, and the thing that Lawler's doing with this is pretty good. I gotta admit it. But I don't know, Pedicino, I like a lot of his matches. I'll give him that. And the Lightning Kid is a definite plus anywhere in professional wrestling. However, his weight, being under the 180, 190-pound mark, nobody is going to hire him, and it's a shame that an athlete of this tremendous caliber of the Lightning Kid is going to go unheard of probably forever until someone gets a brain, which in this day and age in professional wrestling may not happen. But I want to take time out to read this thing that came across the news wire here at the Evansville Courier. Hulk Hogan denies using illegal steroids. I trained 20 years, 2 hours a day to look like I do, said the mighty Hulkster, the current WWF Heavyweight Champion. I am not a steroids abuser. I do not use steroids. Those are exact quotes from Hulk Hogan. However, he does go on to say he did take a male growth hormone to treat muscle injuries. What is this? A male growth hormone is technically a steroid. So Hogan is caught in sort of a lie here, and Hogan goes on to say this involved basic anti-inflammatories and a synthetic male hormone, which is a steroid. So what he says, he's never taken steroids. So what is he saying here? This makes no sense at all. And as most of you know, at a federal trial in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Dr. George Zahorian III testified that he did sell steroids to several pro wrestlers, including Hulk Hogan. And of course, Zahorian was convicted of illegally selling the drugs. And I don't know. Seems America's heroes supposedly are just going downhill. Who do these kids have to look up to? The Pee Wee Herman thing. I was a fan of Pee Wee Herman, I'll admit it. Most people hate him, but I think he's a comical genius. And now Hulk Hogan. Who's next? Nobody knows. Just what is this world coming to? I hate to sound so cliche, but gosh. I understand standing by to talk about Autumn Armageddon is Joel Goodhart. But before we go to Joel Goodhart, we're going to go to one of the former CWN regulars. We hope to have him back. He is none other than Vince DePalma, and he has got a pretty good scoop here about Ric Flair. And as I said earlier, Flair will be appearing on the August 10th Titan shows, and here is exactly why.
I just heard that the WWF has signed Ric Flair to a contract, and it's supposed to be announced on the WWF syndicated TV show tomorrow by Bobby Heenan, of all people. Now, I don't know yet if he's going to be coming in as NWA heavyweight champion. I would doubt if McMahon would recognize another promotion, but that's the major scoop. If you haven't heard, Ric Flair is coming to the WWF, and I believe it's effective September 1st.
Amazing stuff going on, not only in WWF, but everywhere else. So Ric Flair has signed with Titan, therefore ruling out the Philadelphia show with Joe Goodhart. But eventually, it's going to come down to Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. And I tremendously respect Hulk Hogan. He went over to Japan,
He tried some stuff that he's never tried before. He's willing to improve, which a man that's making as much money as he is doesn't need to worry about improving because he's already got it locked up, but he wants to. He's trying things, like I said, he's never tried before. He tries to change his style, and if we see Flair versus Hogan, I think we'll see a great match. Who knows how they'll use Flair? I don't know if McMahon will use him as a champion. I don't know how McMahon will use him at all. All I know is that they will be acknowledging that Flair was a world's champion, and from what I've heard, that his belt was more prestigious than Hulk Hogan's, which sounds like a big crock to me, but it is the 10th right now as we speak, and I'm waiting for the Titan television show to come on, and I'm sure once this hits the casual wrestling fans, that Titan wrestling ratings will skyrocket. I will guarantee this, and WCW is just about at it. Let's get off of it right now and go to Mr. Joel Goodhart.
Armageddon 2 is going to happen on Saturday, September 21st at the Philadelphia Civic Center, Pennsylvania Hall, with a 7:30 start, 5:30 open doors, with a tremendous autograph session. This card will be the card of the year without any question. Abdul the Butcher takes on the original Sheik in a match we're calling Gory Gory Hallelujah. They will be inside a steel cage wrapped in barbed wire. Also, as happened at Summer Sizzler 2, Medusa Michelli has accepted the challenge of Luna Vachon, and there will be a ladies' hair versus hair match in the ring at Autumn Armageddon, the first time ever in North America. Also, Terry Funk has signed and will be appearing at this card. Also, the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance announced at the past card that they have formed an alliance with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Takayuki Iizuka will be in town taking on Owen Hart. Also, there will be 2 title matches. The TWA champions will be defending their belts. J.T. Smith, the current TWA heavyweight champion, and Johnny Hotbody and Larry Winters, the Dog Pound, the current TWA tag team champions. Also, there will be a battle royal, the first of its kind ever, called Armageddon 1. We don't know how many men will sign for this match, but it will be a last blood battle royal. That's right. If you bleed, you're eliminated. The winner of this match will be the one who does not bleed. Oh, we do things different than Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. Also appearing on the card, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, Cactus Jack, and a whole lot more. So keep in touch with Jeff Osborne here at Cassette Wrestling News as Autumn Armageddon 2 rolls along to be the biggest independent professional wrestling card ever. We'll talk to you later. This is Joel Goodhart from the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance saying, you've been marvelous, you've been great, but see ya!
Thank you very much, Joel Goodhart, and I'm sure after September 21st, CWN will have a few interviews from Philadelphia, so you fans stick around for that. And I want to bring up a point here. It was a year ago this month that the historic vehicular homicide angle was made famous by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Jerry the King Lawler. And as well as we want to wish Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert the best. And he's got a birthday coming up pretty soon where he's going to be hitting the big 3-0, and we want to wish him a semi-early happy birthday. And just bringing up a point that the CWN angle of the year, the Lawler rundown angle, both of these men deserve Oscars for their performances, and I'm surprised Lawler didn't end up in a body cast, but he did receive severe bruises and around all the way from his hip down his whole entire leg, and both of these men deserve the highest rating for this angle. And a lot of people were saying, well, it would have been better if Lawler would not have came back and done the interview, if he would have stayed out and stuff. If Lawler would not have came back, Eddie Gilbert would have went to jail. The fans at home watching live were watching the action, and they actually called an ambulance and the police to go to the studio and help Jerry Lawler. And this is why Lawler had to come back and do the interview, or Eddie Gilbert would be probably in jail as we speak right now. So that's just to clear up a lot of things. I'm still reading stuff about that in various sheets, but hey, you gotta admire both of them. Okay, folks, this tape is taking longer than I thought it would take to produce. I did watch some WWF shows today, and they ran a thing with Bobby the Brain Heenan, as you heard Vince DePalma talking about earlier, holding up Ric Flair's World Heavyweight Championship belt. And in my opinion, Flair is still the world's champion. Heenan said comparing Flair to Hogan is like comparing ice cream to horse manure. But you heard my comments about both men earlier. I respect both of them immensely. And I think we'll actually see some good matches. And TV ratings, as I said, will take off once WCW fans get wind of this, and I'm sure they will. You know, what's up at WCW now? I'd rather watch an arm wrestling contest than watch WCW. I haven't seen WCW since the Flair departure, and I really don't care to. There's a lot of good talent going to waste there because of what they're doing. You know, it all points one way. Somebody is possibly working for McMahon. Jim Herd, in my opinion, and Dusty Rhodes, in my opinion, I believe they have some tie-in with Ric Flair. That's basically what I think. Who knows? Something's going on, and it's just not quite right. There's been talk of firing Herd and Dusty, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And WCW has as much chance of catching up to the WWF as a one-legged midget in an ass-kicking contest. And folks, until next time, this is Jeff Osborne saying keep your shoulders off the mat and keep reaching for the ropes.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live, Friday, March 20th. Don't miss Wrestling Night with the Memphis Grizzlies at FedEx Forum. Saturday, March 21st, join us at the Memphis Hustle Game at Landers Center, featuring live Memphis Wrestling. Sunday, March 29th, Vince Russo is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Saturday, April 11th, Memphis Wrestling is headed to Little Rock for Arkansas Travelers Wrestling Night at Dickey Stevens Park. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
Attention wrestling fans, do you want to watch every WWE premium live event no matter where you are in the world? Well, I've got the ultimate tag team partner for you, Surfshark VPN. With Surfshark, you can unlock content from anywhere on the globe. What this means is no more block streams, no more restrictions, just wall-to-wall action. Imagine catching WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series live no matter what country you're in. And here's the best part. By using my affiliate link, which is tinyurl.com/ It's a backslash. It's VPN STS Talk. You'll also score an exclusive huge savings plus an extra 3 months absolutely free. That's right, 3 bonus months of unlimited access, total online privacy, and the power to stream every WWE pay-per-view like a true champion. And don't get counted out. Hit the link. It is tinyurl.com/ That's a backslash. It's VPN STS Talk. Go to that link and make sure you never miss a single second of the action again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to step in the ring with pain relief. When back pain, neck pain, and stress tries to body slam you into the mat, there's only one tag team partner you can trust.
Vitality Chiropractic in Jonesboro and Newport, Arkansas. The champions of chiropractic care. With a dedicated team of professionals, they're not just adjusting spines, they're adjusting lives. Whether you're battling aches, pains, or just need to feel like a brand new you, Vitality Chiropractic has the moves to get you back on top of your game. Personalized care, effective treatments, and a commitment to your health and vitality.
You don't have to tap out to pain. Pick up the phone. Dial 870-523-2225. That is 870-523-2225, brother. And schedule your appointment today. Vitality Chiropractic serving Jonesboro and Newport. Step in the ring with pain and walk out a champion of health. Vitality Chiropractic, because your spine deserves the main event. 1, 2, 3. Wrestling fans, are you ready? Every Friday night in Osceola, Arkansas, MCW, the legacy continues. Live, hard-hitting, family-friendly wrestling action every Friday night at the MCW Arena, located at 1098 West Kaiser. Doors open at 6:30 and the action starts at 8 p.m. sharp. Don't miss your chance to see the stars of MCW battling out in the ring, rivals, drama, and slam-packed action. Here's what I want you to do. If you have any questions, I want you to search Facebook for Osceola's Mid-Southern Championship Wrestling. All ticket information, how to get your ticket, what time the show starts, everything right there on Facebook. All tickets are on sale right now. Be there! Folks, let's talk about something that can make everything feel a little smoother, a little better, and a whole lot more comfortable. If you're listening to STS Pod, you already know we believe in top-tier performance, and that doesn't stop when the mics go off. That's right. That's why we have been proudly sponsored for 7 years by SpunkLube.com. That's right, SpunkLube.com. Spunk Lube Hybrid is their best selling for a reason. Spunk Lube Hybrid is a unique water-based silicone blend that looks and feels like your body's natural lubrication. Translation, you get that skin-to-skin sensation without the sticky mess or constant reapplication. Whether it's solo time or with a partner, or you're just upgrading your overall experience, Spunk Lube Hybrid has you covered. It's non-staining, made for sensitive skin, and cleans up easily because nobody wants extra work afterwards. Got toys, condoms, no problem. Spunk Lube Hybrid is fully compatible with sex toys, condoms, and more. And here's the good stuff. It's made in the USA, backed by 15 years of trust, and it ships discreetly as your business stays. Well, it stays your business. That's right. Right now, STS Pod listeners can get 10% off when you use the promo code STS Pod at checkout. That's STS Pod, STSPOD, for 10% off Spunk Lube Hybrid, the best selling for a reason. Feel better, move better, enjoy more, because friction, well, it's for bad podcasts, not for real life. This episode is also brought to you by Bear. Eat better, live better. These guys are the best meal prep company in Northeast Arkansas. So get 15% off with our code STSPodClub at bear870.com. That's 15% off. Use our code STSPodClub at bear870.com. Trust Bear for your meal prep needs in Northeast Arkansas. Eat better, live better. Bear. You want the best, you got the best. The best little wrestling podcast in the business. All episodes on www.stspod.club. Did you enjoy that episode? Cash App us at $BTSTS. If you've never downloaded the Cash App, download it today. You'll get a free $5 for using the code $BTSTS. That's $BTSTS. Hey, thanks for joining us for another great episode of Shooting the Shiznut. Thank you for listening, and thank you to all our sponsors. Remember, you can go to stspod.club, link of all links, and get all our links. That's right, Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, Memphis Wrestling YouTube, Facebook, everything, and many, many more right there, including our sponsors. And remember, all episodes are at one place, and that's stspod.club. Now, how about our podcast roll call? Who's Right podcast with Doug and Anthony. Po' Boys podcast with my old buddy Jody B. P3 Radio with Josh and Richard. Gene Jackson has a trio of shows I listen to every week. It's Dangerous Conversations with Doug Gilbert, the Retro Wrestling Podcast Archives, and search the Retro Wrestling Review Show. It's a USWA podcast with Gene Jackson and Richard and Josh from P3 Radio. Hey guys, thanks again. And remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.